Well, hey guys, it's Thorzax, and a little bit of unboxing today, and got a few things in the mail. One of the first things I wanted to bring up is the Lyman Cast Bullet Handbook. This is a real good book for anybody who, casts bullets and, wants to make alloys and things like that. This has an awful lot of good information about alloys and what you need to add to bring things up to certain alloys, that sort of thing. I used to have this book years ago, and I lent it to a friend of mine, and never got it back. So anyway, that's the way that goes. Also want to do a little bit of a shout out. Well, not really a shout out. I just want to add something to a previous video that I made. If you don't have a pair of these, get a pair. These are Welder's gloves, and I'm an experienced caster. I've been doing it for 35 plus years, and fortunately I've never had a situation that came about where I was going to get burned or something like that. You really do have to stay on your toes around molten lead. It's in excess of 700 degrees Fahrenheit. That's pretty serious burns. If you're new at casting, or even if you've done this for like 4 or 5 years, it's a good idea to wear some heavy gloves. Get to know what you're doing. Get to know how to read the situation, how you're going to set up your pot, all those other things. How to clear the area from anything being in the area that shouldn't be there. Stuff like that. It's one thing that you don't really get a second chance on when you're working with lead, is to go back and create a safe situation after it already has gotten out of control. So anyway, that's my take on that. You can get these at Harbor Freight for like 20 bucks. Anyway, so a little bit more on the unboxing. I ended up with a project box. I have the small my pin temperature controller, and I'm thinking about how I'm going to set this thing up in the box. You have your relay, which is already mounted on a heat sink, and I got to do all the wiring in there to get it to fit this way, which will give me more room to wire it. Is if I had it like this, I'd have to run all the wiring underneath and that sort of thing. When I first started, going down the road about, getting a PID, I was on eBay, and I ended up buying one that I thought that I canceled. And in a way, when it came to me in the mail, I took it out of the box, just to have a good look at it, and take a look at this. For anybody out there that has to have readers on in order to see the small details, I'll tell you what, this is the PID controller for you. I mean, this thing, you can see this from across the room. I mean, it's awesome. I'm thinking that I'm just going to go ahead and use this unit, as my PID. But as you can see, man, it's got a huge display. All the buttons, everything. You can see all this, really clearly. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a board, and I'm going to go ahead and wire it, and wire it up. And I'm thinking what I'm going to do as far as an on and off switch is, with the power that comes into the unit from, your 110 wall outlet, have one of those inline on and off switch, so you can just, just a little thumb wheel or a little, push button type thing. I have one of those that's on my star unit, and I like it a lot. it just frees up the panel, I guess. Once you mount this in a box, you don't have a whole bunch of switches and stuff on it. But it's pretty straightforward. I mean, pretty straightforward. It comes with all the instructions. The instructions are written in English. You know, there are some tutorials that are on YouTube about how to wire this up, and it's actually pretty easy. The one thing that this did come with that I will caution you guys on is that this came with what is called a T-type thermocouple. And the T-type thermocouples, they have 3 leads on them. As you can see, they have 3 leads on them. One of them is for getting power for the unit, the actual thermocoupler, and because it takes measurements in some other way or something like that. However, this controller is compatible with the thermocoupler, which is the K-type. This is the T-type. It's the PT100. So anyway, so this is the one I'm going to be using with the controller. These aren't that expensive. They're less than $10. So anyway, I got that going. So that's going to be a project that I'm going to go ahead and attempt. And I was on eBay again, and I seen some Lee Pro 420 casting furnaces that this guy had up on for bid, and he had 5 of them. And I guess him and his family went ahead and they casted jewelry and also little ornaments and things like that you put on furniture, or you put it on things like making things for like trophies and stuff like that. He was auctioning them off, and he said they were used. So I bid up to $28, and then I just went ahead and I said, forget it. I'm not going to go ahead and buy something that I don't know any type of shape or anything that's going to be in when I get it, and end up paying over half of what it would cost to just buy a new one. So anyway, so I just kind of let it go after that. Well, I won the bid. 3 days later, won the bid. I went ahead and I did the whole deal with the guy and the whole bit, and he went ahead and sent it to me. When it came in the mail, this is what I got. Brand new. Never been out of the box. So I went ahead and messaged the guy, and I said, hey, you sent me a brand new one. And he says, I had 2 of them that were brand new, 3 of them were used. The used ones already went out, and the only ones I had left were the brand new ones, and I just wanted to get them, out of my shop. I guess they just weren't meeting the guy's needs or something like that. So anyway, I got a good deal on this, $28. I got my pit controller that I'm going to go ahead and wire up. I'm going to go ahead and bypass the rudimentary thermostat that's in this and just use this as a thermostat with the thermocoupler. So anyway, that's one of my projects that I got going. What else? Well, I got a deal on some Blue Dot. I seem to fall into just the right time, but a guy messaged me and was interested in getting some 9mm bullets, and he said he had a pound of Blue Dot. He'd go ahead and trade me for them. And I was like, yeah, sounds pretty fair to me, so I went ahead and did that. Now, Blue Dot is very versatile, powder as far as the 9mm. It works at 45, it works in 357 Magnum, it works in just about every, pistol cartridge case that you can think of. It's very versatile stuff. I used to use this all the time, and it was unavailable for a long time. But I went online and I found an outlet, and I turned around and I bought 8 more pounds of it. So, and that just came. It's sitting out in the garage right now. If you can't find Blue Dot, AA number 7 is really good for 9mm. Also 44 Magnum. I've used this for years. And if you can't get AA number 7, go ahead and try HS6 for 9mm. It works really good too, and it also works very good in 45. And another little helpful hint: if you've got one of these old label makers where you can make the little labels like that, I think it's I can't remember what brand name it is, but anyway, you can find these, at Office Max or something like that. You just go ahead and you print out a little stick-on label, and then when you fill your powder measure up, what you do is you take the label and peel it off the can, and you just stick it on, your powder measure, and that way you know what powder is in your powder measure in case you walk away, or you leave it full for a week, you come back to it or whatever, and you can't remember what powder's in it. This is a good way of identifying it. So that's just a little tip I wanted to go ahead and send on to you guys that have multiple powder measures and that sort of thing, or use multiple different powders. What else? I think that about sums it up. Got my work cut out for me here. Like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and take a board and just go ahead and wire it up. See if I can get this whole thing kind of figured out where I'm programming it right, to keep the temperature and stuff, and then probably end up going down to Home Depot or someplace. Actually, just go ahead and go on eBay or go to Amazon and then just buy a box that's big enough for this. And that way this will be contained in a box. And I have connections. What I'll do is I'll run the thermocoupler out the side to a plug, and then that way the thermocoupler will have a plug on it so I can unplug it. And then that way the pot and this can be separated. Having a little thumb wheel on and off switch, that way I don't have to wire anything in to the box. That'll just control the power and everything. But it's pretty simple, guys. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, you got your in and your out, on your relay. That's about it, So anyway, that about sums it up. So guys, this is Thorzax, and I'm wishing you a good day. And get out there and do a little bit of shooting. I'm signing out.